Absolutely
Really
flies by.
does.
It's like you cover three topics. But if anybody's trying to be a personal trainer now, you've got a young lad out there and he's heard your story, he thinks, wow, it's amazing, that's where I want to be, he's the size I want to be, etc. What are kind of like the three things that you would advise him to do? And then the three things you would say to avoid so he doesn't make those mistakes? Sorry to put you on the spot. I'll give you some thinking time.
Okay, so first one I'm going to say, it may not necessarily be in the right order, but one thing, I had a friend he probably still is a little bit overweight, but he's about 4 or 5 stone overweight. Now, because he was 4 or 5 stone overweight and he was a personal trainer, he didn't want to post anything on social media. And relatability is so powerful. The reason people are, again, going back to Rocky again, is because you see him down in the ditches and you see him coming back and winning against all odds, right? So if you're a fat bloke and you want to get into personal training, start documenting the journey through social media as a fat bloke and let people see the transformation, because then they can get behind you, they can follow you. You're not a guy who's got amazing genetics, so you're not just some bloke who's always been ripped. It's been easy. Let them see the journey and build rapport. So again, it's that vulnerability creates connection. Just be freaking real about it. Show people why you're really doing it, because people can smell bullshit a mile off, right? They really can. But just be freaking vulnerable, document the journey. Second thing, just practice what you preach. I mean, Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world, right? When it comes to freaking body transformation, if you're trying to tell people they want to look a certain way, you need to be doing everything that you're talking about, diet, training, nutrition. And if you're documenting the journey and then you show a result, you've got massive credibility. So you've done those two things. Third one I'd say is probably pick your niche. Pick a niche. Work out the people that you're passionate about training and just really focus on that. You can be an all things to all people, and there are people that are very successful at doing that, but really, the ones that pick their niche and they're known for something, they're nailing. I mean, I guess the biggest name in fitness would right now probably be Joe Wicks.
Yeah.
And he has gone for the lowest common denominator, but guys like me and you, not in a million years are we going to do a Joe Wicks workout.
We discussed this before, didn't we? We said that we're not sexist, but we have no interest in training women. Like we both said this before when we were, I think it was like 2 years ago, wasn't it, or a year ago? It's like I just couldn't, I couldn't get excited about, oh, I've got a client today, she wants to do some squats. I'd be like, well, doesn't get me off my seat, and that doesn't make me a bad person. It's just I relate more to men, and I'd prefer to see a guy go from a 2 out of 10 to like a 7 out of 10 from my training and massive confidence. I'd be like, that gets me out of bed in the mornings.
Well, there we go. There we go. And, and around that whole thing, Joe Wicks was very successful, nailing a massive niche, okay? Most people ain't going to do that. Everyone's trying to do what Joe Wicks is doing.
Yeah.
Go for a smaller niche. Go for prime example, my brother's doing a dad bod thing. So he's targeting guys from 20 to 35 who've had kids that have got a dad bod because of the lifestyle, and then he can speak to their pain point. He can speak about the nights of lack of sleep and not being able to prep your meals, perhaps like a single guy like me could. And he can really speak to them on that level. And that's his market. Somebody else might go for the old school bodybuilding guys that want to get that Arnold physique, but it's quite a small one. But if you do it well, that could be your niche. You might go for the guys that are in their 60s that just want to get their movement and vitality back, and that's your niche. But pick a niche and make sure it's one that you can speak to on a personal level, so you've got credibility, and just ground it out. Just be consistent, and I think it will pay dividends in the end.
That's amazing. What about the 3 things you'd avoid? So the mistakes early on that maybe you did or you see other trainers do that you would say, look, this is going to fuck your brand up early on. If you avoid these, you're going to accelerate a lot quicker.
Number 1, time for money. Selling time for money. You're not a prostitute. You know what? You're really not. The guy that says, like, you speak to a personal trainer, and I like this question. I say, now, what do you charge? What are your packages? And he says, well, I'll do a block of 5 sessions for this many, and I'll do a block of 10 sessions for this many. How long session? Session's 1 hour. Okay, great. So he's going to have the conversation with the client. He's going to sit them down, and he's going to say, would you like 5 sessions or would you like 10 sessions? How much is 10 sessions? It's a grand, 5 sessions is whatever. It's too much money. You're not selling time. You're not selling time. You're selling the benefits. So learn to really communicate the benefits to the client. But the way you do that is actually through listening more and speaking less. Ask the right questions. Get the client to sell themselves to you on why they need you to change their life right now and sell them a solution to that problem. So yeah, that's got to be number one.
I love that one.
Number two, yeah. So I don't know if that was a thing to do or not to do, but I think, well, time for money, that was it. Okay, so that's got to be number one. Yeah. Number two, Ooh, things not to do. Whoa.
You just don't make many mistakes, Steve, that's all.
If only. Okay, in fact, I've made plenty of mistakes. I've got to speak about those. If you're training girls, don't sleep with your clients. Or even if you're guys training guys and you're gay, don't sleep with your clients. But just don't do it. Don't be the personal trainer, walks around a gym, hands on a crutch, what you saying, girl, walking up to balls and just chatting them up. It's embarrassing for me if I'm working in a gym with you as a fellow trainer. It makes us look bad. And word gets around quickly, and it makes it's just very unprofessional, and people won't respect that. You might get laid in once in a while, but you won't build a serious business. You need to treat it as a professional business, and I think a lot of trainers don't do that. I've actually seen around practicing what you preach. I saw a personal trainer once in Brixton, and I kid you not, he sat on a leg extension machine in the gym, eating a bag of McDonald's in the gym,
Jesus,
in uniform. So, yeah, I can't even remember what my original point is. That's popped up, but So don't try shagging your clients. Basically, be professional.
Yeah.
So, number three, things to avoid. Oh. The thing. Okay, avoid. It's not really an avoid, but don't be afraid to do stuff for free. So a lot of people get very up their own backside. They're like, you know what, I'm better than this. I don't need to give out free sessions. Yeah, I don't need to give out free sessions. I want to get paid for being here. So I sit around all day long trying to sign up clients and not get them. You know what? One of the best, it's not so much an avoid, but it's probably more of a tip to actually do. The first thing I do when I go to any gym, or used to, is I would literally speak to all the people that run the gym, the receptionists, the front of house people, the sales staff, and give them all a free PT session. Because if that member of sales staff is walking around the gym and he or she's had a great personal training session with you, and they go, a leg circuit, you had a great training session with Steve or Chris, whatever, then you're the first name on their lips. And these are the first people speak to. So you're just going to get business because the word will get out that you're that go-to guy. So that's what it is. Just make sure, don't be afraid to give away free stuff. If you see someone on a treadmill, walk up to them, grab them off a treadmill. You walk up to them, how you doing? They're going to have the headphones in. So I'm going to give you a little tip if I may. I've gone off on one a bit. One of my tips, I called it an Instacomp, works as a treat. Nobody does this. You walk past the treadmill. People have got their headphones on, they're doing cardio. You go, how you doing? And they'll kind of go to take their earphones out. But if you just stay there talking to them, it's going to get very awkward. You say hello. Then you walk along to the next person. The next person sees you walking along, so they've already taken their earphones out. How's the workout going? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's all going good, blah, blah, blah. Get a chat going. What are you training for? I'm training to lose weight. You say, oh, awesome. So what are you doing for that? I'm just doing cardio. Oh, great. So you're doing cardio, you're doing weights, you're doing nutrition. Of course they're not doing weights. Of course they're not doing nutrition. Oh, not really. Should I be doing that? But listen, I'll tell you what, just a cancellation. Come with me and I'll show you a few little bits. And you get them in straight away. Straight in, put it in Instacomp. Listen, I've only got 10 minutes. Again, game stuff, but it works for PT magically. I've only got 10 minutes, so I've had a client just cancel. So what we're going to do, I'm going to, not, can I show you, would you like to do a few minutes? No, you take command. People in the gym are freaking scared. They're very out of the comfort zone. And when you realise that, you've got the power. Listen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly show you 10 little bits. What's one area you really want to train? And you just go into that. You show them a little bit, build rapport, get them signed up,